Beautiful people, welcome back. This is the hidden truth behind the end of slavery. Thomas Sowell. This gonna have to be part two. The dogs was barking like crazy, but yeah, this gonna just be a couple of minutes, I believe. The other one was all like we were close. It was like 3 minutes up until 15 minutes, which is my stopping mark at the moment. But yeah, needless to say, let's get this thing started. It'll be over in probably 5 minutes.
Of the transatlantic slave trade should be ignored, downplayed, or excused, nor have they been. A vast literature has detailed the vile conditions under which slaves from Africa lived and died during their voyages to the Western Hemisphere. But the much less publicized slave trade to the Islamic countries had even higher mortality rates en route, as well as involving larger numbers of people over the centuries, even though the Atlantic slave trade had higher peaks while it lasted. By a variety of accounts, most of the slaves who were marched across the Sahara toward the Mediterranean died on the way. While these were mostly women and girls, the males faced a special danger: castration to produce the eunuchs in demand as harem attendants in the Islamic world. Because castration was forbidden by Islamic law, the operation tended to be performed, usually crudely, in the hinterlands, before the slave caravans reached places within the effective control of the Ottoman Empire. The great majority of those operated on died as a result. But the price of eunuchs was so much higher than the price of other slaves that the practice was still profitable on net balance. The British Governor-General of the Sudan, C.G. Gordon, estimated that between 1875 and 1879, from 80,000 to 100,000 slaves were exported through his region. General Gordon imposed the death penalty on those convicted of castrating slave men to market them as eunuchs. His attempt to stamp out slave trading in the Sudan cost him his own life as an opposing army, raised and led by Muhammad Mahad, defeated his troops at Khartoum in 1885 and killed Gordon, after which the slave trade flourished again. British control in the region was firmly re-established in 1898 by the crushing victory of troops led by Lord Kitchener at Omdurman, and including a young officer named Winston Churchill. On the issue of slavery, it was essentially Western civilization against the world. At the time, Western civilization had the power to prevail against all other civilizations. That is how and why slavery was destroyed as an institution in almost the whole world. But it did not happen all at once or even within a few decades. When the British finally stamped out slavery in Tanganyika in 1922, it was more than half a century after the Emancipation Proclamation in the United States, and vestiges of slavery still survived in parts of Africa into the 21st century.
Wow. There you have it, man. The hidden truth behind the end of slavery, and that was just 12 minutes of it. Make sure you check out part one right here. This is part two. Just wanted to make sure y'all see the end as well. This is Coop Troop Live. Make sure you like, comment, share, subscribe, all that good stuff, man. If we don't have no interruptions by the dog, as soon as we get to a certain amount of subs, we'll be able to do the whole thing with no stopping point necessary. All right, till next time, thank you for joining.